This next person coming to the stage, the virtual stage, is a stand-up comedian and also an activist and a union organizer, a couple of different hats that he wears that he'll be able to talk about a little bit. But here's a clip from his album, The Whiteness.
And, you know, I've been inspired by Black Lives Matter, and I'm obviously the official spokesperson of all white people. And so and I post a lot of stuff about it. And I don't know if you know this about comedians, but only 20% of the job of a comedian is this raining fire into the microphone that you're witnessing. And 80% of the job of a comedian is arguing with people on the internet. And so I posted stuff about Black Lives Matter, and then I had to deal with the All Lives Matter people who were like, you know, All Lives Matter people, like, why you gotta say Black Lives Matter? It's All Lives Matter. You're excluding us. I already feel like my life does not matter, and all I had to hang on to is at least my life matters more than black people's lives, and you're taking that away from me. All lives matter. And that is the argument of a crazy person. Because of course all lives matter. It's Black Lives Matter, not Black Lives Matter so your life doesn't matter. We're just talking about black people now because that's how conversations work. You know what I mean? It's the kind of person where you're like, hey man, let me tell you what I had for lunch. No, let me tell you what I had for lunch. Motherfucker, you're gonna get a turn. We can both talk here. Like, that sweater looks very nice on you. Are you saying all other sweaters look bad on me? No. That's not how humans communicate. But it turns out that we're very thin-skinned as a people.
Please welcome to Call and Response, stand-up comedian, labor organizer, co-host of the Bituation Room podcast with Francesca Fiorentini, Mr. Nato Green. How you doing, Nato?
Great. I'm glad you guys finally get the white man's perspective. When will our voice be heard?
Yeah, we waited for as long as we could. I think it was contractually we had to have at least one white man on. I think is what happened.
This is basically like our Saved by the Bell episode, where it's like we really focus on a specific issue. You know, that used to happen a lot in 90s sitcoms.
A special episode of
It's a very special call and response.
Where Lisa Turtle was experiencing racism, and Jesse Spano had to be like, "I'm so scared." So this is our special episode where we focus on the issue of whiteness, which is the name of your album. So, Mike, you were gonna ask a question. Now I'm putting you on the spot.
Where'd you record that album? I'm so curious.
I recorded it in San Francisco at the defunct nightclub Doc's Lab.
So a San Francisco audience, was a lot of white people in the audience when you recorded that?
Yes, there were. Typical San Francisco. You know, my audience tends to be relatively diverse for San Francisco. One of the funny things about the taping, I've never told anybody this, but at the taping, there were a couple of tables of older black folks that sat right in front and like made it a point to like clap and like, you know, to like be super into it. They were like, listen, white people, this is approved. You know what I mean? So that helped.
Did you know them? Did you know this group of older black people?
Some yes, some no.
I feel like doing the comedy that you do, which is very funny, but it's also like really stealthy, challenging for white people. And I imagine in San Francisco, it wouldn't cause too much of a backlash, but I'm assuming you've probably traveled all around doing it. And I'm wondering, like, does it ever get like really isolating to be in white spaces telling jokes that kind of have this low key intention of like waking white people up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gets isolating in the sense of like, you know, it's not even that I travel around and I get the backlash. It's like because of the kind of comedy that I do, there's just gigs that I don't get. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people Google me and they're like, oh, we're not going to book that guy. And certainly, you know, what I run into more is like white people who think that they're liberals who then feel indicted by my act and, you know, why you want to do those jokes about killing the rich or whatever, you know,
the white moderate.
The white moderate. So it's those kind of people, but it's also surprising. Like I have people emailing through my webpage or DMing me who are like, hey, I heard your comedy and like I'm getting, and like, how do I get involved, or what do you recommend I read, or like those, some of those people
Mm.
that are bothering you are in my DMs, or being like, how do I organize a union in my job? My landlord's trying to evict me. What can I do about it? So like, and particularly in San Francisco, I get a lot of like tech people who are people that I, as a San Francisco native, see as gentrifiers. I see them as gentrifiers, and they'll come up to me after a show and be like, "I feel conflicted about my role in this city, and what should I do?"
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and so, I'm super happy to like have those conversations. And if it's really important to me that I don't want to be that the kind of comic where, like, as political as I am as a person, I don't want to be super strident and like you and act like I know, I'm not Bill Maher. I don't, my comedy's not based on the idea that I'm smarter than everybody. Um, so I think like Barron said before, we're Americans, we're all implicated in this corrupt system. And so like my comedy is basically rooted in a sense of optimism
Hmm.
about people. And hopefully that makes it accessible to people who might otherwise feel threatened by it.